بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. You memorize the hadith or no? Good. Don't look at nobody else. Don't even look at nobody.
عن أبي عبد الله ويقال أبو عبد الرحمن ثوبان مولى رسول الله قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول عليك بكثرة السجود فإنك لن تسجد لله سجدة إلا رفعك الله بها درجة وحط عنك بها خطيئة. رواه مسلم.
Nobody else? This one, number 28, you better memorize because this is probably one of the smallest hadiths in this whole entire book. Because the next one is you got to start preparing for number 29. 29 is not long, but it's a longer one. It's easy though, it's in the 40 hadiths, so you don't know it. All right, hadith number 28. You are resurrected in the state you died. All right, and Jabir radiallahu anhu qala قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يبعث كل عبد على ما مات عليه. رواه Muslim. So here Jabir, he reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Yubathu." All right, yubathu. What type of verb is this?
فعل مستقبل.
No. They keep putting these airline these ads out with women on, and they keep cutting it off, and then they put up a new ad. Somebody needs to memorize al-ajrumiyya. Yub'athu. What type of verb is this? مبني المجهول or الفعل الذي لم يسمى فاعله. Because the asl of it is who? بعثهم الله. من الباعث؟ الله. Allah هو الباعث. هو الذي يرسل الناس من القبور. He is the one that sends them out from the graves. يبعثوا is what? They are sent out. They are dispersed out. Yeah, this is Mabni bin Majhul. You were asking me about this the other day when you were asking me about the Na'ib and Fa'il. That's why I asked you this question. You know, I'm wondering who's sleeping right now, me or him? Who's the sleepy one? You just asked me was it the last part of Ramadan, maybe what? You were asking me about the Na'ib and Fa'il. Yeah, Yubathu right now. Yubathu. What is the na'ib and al-fa'il huna?
Fa'il.
No, there's no fa'il here. It's na'ib. Na'ib and al-fa'il. What is it? Now look at the sentence. Yub'athu kullu 'abdin 'ala ma mata 'alayh. What's the na'ib and al-fa'il? Here.
The fa'il.
No, there's no fa'il. There's na'ib and al-fa'il because this is mabni lil-majhul. It's مغير الصيغة. So you got يبعث فعل مضارع مغير الصيغة. طيب مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ضمة ظاهرة في آخره. All right. And it's مرفوع بسبب ايش؟ تجرده عن النواصب والجوازم. Right. What's the نائب الفاعل?
يبعثه?
No. كل here كل مضاف عبد مضاف إليه. كل is the نائب الفاعل مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ضمة الظاهر والمضاف وعبد مضاف عليه مضاف إليه. All right, so he said yubathu. So each kull abdin, every servant is raised up and sent forth, is resurrected على ما مات عليه, in the state that he died in, or the condition that he died in. And this goes back to the statement of the Prophet ﷺ, which he said, الأعمال بخواتيمها. الأعمال بخواتيمها. So what's important is the state that you died in, not the state you might have lived your whole life. And what's the hadith about that?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah. What's the hadith? Hadith man. About كل الإنسان يجمع خلقه في بطن أمه 40 يوما نطفة ثم يكون علقة مثل ذلك ثم يكون مضغة مثل ذلك ثم يرسل الملك فينفخ فيه روح فيؤمر بأربع كلمات بكتب رزقه وأجله وعمله وشقي أو سعيد. حديث من؟ No. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. But after that he said, فَوَالَّذٍ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ إِنَّ أَحَدَكُمْ لَيَعْمَلُ بِعَمَلِ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ حَتَّى مَا يَكُونُ بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَهَا إِلَّا ذِرَاعٌ فَيَسْبِقُ عَلَيْهِ الْكِتَابُ فَيَعْمَلُ بِعَمَلِ أَهْلِ النَّارِ فَيَدْخُلُهَا. So he said, I swear by him, in which there is none worthy of worship except for him alone, that a person from amongst you will do the actions of the people of Jannah حتى ما يكون بينه وبينها إلا ذراع, until like only an arm's length is what separates them between entering into Jannah. فيسبق عليه الكتاب, and then what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written down for him, it comes down. What kitab is he talking about? Go back to the beginning of the hadith. إن أحدكم يجمع خلقه في بطن أمه 40 يوما نطفة ثم يكون علقة مثل ذلك ثم يكون مضغة مثل ذلك ثم يرسل الملك فينفخ فيه روح ويؤمر بأربع كلمات بكتب رزقه وأجله وعمله وشقي أو سعيد. That's the kitab, what's written for him in the womb of his mother, whether or not he's going to be from the people of paradise or from the people of the hellfire. So that's written while he's in the womb of his mother. So now when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he gets that close to the Jannah, then فَيَسْبِقُ عَلَيْهِ الْكِتَابِ, the book comes down, what's written down comes down from him. And his heart flips. And what's the ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about that? Who controls the hearts? Yeah. Say it again. وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَحُولُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَقَلْبِهِ. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يحول بين المرء وقلبه. So it means like what? He can flip it. For the moment, he can flip your heart and turn the heart into a person of disbelief. And for a kafir, he can flip it. So consider this hadith like the hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, like a tafsir of this ayah. Because we see what happens. The person does the actions of the people of Jannah, and there's only like an arm's length from the Jannah. فَيَسْبِقُ عَلَيْهِ الْكِتَابِ, and then his book comes down, and then he begins to do the actions of the people of the hellfire. Then he dies on the actions of the people of the hellfire, and then he enters into the hellfire. Because that's what he died on. So just like we see in this hadith right here in Jabir, يُبْعَثُ كُلَّ عَبْدٍ عَلَى مَا مَاتَ عَلَيْهِ. Every servant is resurrected in the state or condition that he died in. And on the other hand, we have the person who does all the actions of the people of the hellfire. Until there's only the arm's length separates him from entering into the hellfire. فَيَسْبِقُ عَلَيْهِ الْكِتَابِ. And then what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written in that book, it comes down when he ordered the angels to write in the book when he was in the womb of his mother. It comes down, and then he begins to work and do the actions of the people of Jannah. And then that's what he dies upon, and that's what he enters. Now what's the understanding of this hadith? Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah is just. He's doing the actions of the people of Jannah. So why all of a sudden would he be written as people from the hellfire? You would look at that hadith, and if you didn't understand it, you would say, well, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound fair, right? He's doing the actions of the people of Jannah. So what's the issue?
How his heart is.
Now, what's the other narration of this hadith? There's an extra part on a different narration. He says, "Fima yabdu linnas." Fima yabdu linnas. So he's doing the actions of the people of Jannah and what appears to the people. You know, that's what appears to the people. But in his heart is what? He's hiding all the stuff that he really wants in his heart. And then later on, as he becomes less, has less restraint, maybe, and less, resolve to continue up the act, then what happens is his shyness goes away, and he starts to feel a little bit more daring, and then he starts to go out and act out all the stuff that was in his heart the whole time. So it was fima yabdu linnas, but in his heart was something different. So he was with the people of obedience, but in his heart he loved disobedience. He's with the people of the sunnah, but in his heart he loves jahiliyah, he loves zayg, he loves misguidance. That's what his heart is inclined to, but he hides it. But then it comes out. And then that's what he dies upon, and then he ends up entering into the hellfire. And then the other person, يعمل عمل أهل النار فيما يبدو للناس. So on the surface, he's doing bad actions, right? Actions that look like, okay, this dude, if he's died, he's going to go to the hellfire. But in his heart, there's repentance, there's sadness, there's grief, there's like a want to change, but he's stuck in an environment that, like, we took the hadith about the man who killed the 99 men. And what was the final advice that was given to him? So here he is, he killed 100 men, but he's still trying to make tawbah. So I mean, here if you saw like him in that state, like when he went to the monk, and he said, إني قتلت, إنه قتل 99 نفسا فعله من توبة. And when he said to the monk that he's killed 99 men, is there any tawbah for him? And he said, La. And then he killed him, فَقَتَلَهُ فَكَمَّلَ بِهِ مِيَةً, and then he killed the monk and then completed 100 people, because the monk looked at him and was like, how? You killed 99 people. What type of tawbah are you going to make? So he killed him and made 100, but in his heart, he's still repentant. He still wants to make repentance. And then when he went to the knowledgeable person, what did the knowledgeable person say to him?
Yes, and who can stop a slave?
Yeah, he said, Na'am, وَمَن يَحُولُ بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ تَوْبَةٍ. What's blocking him? What's standing in the way of him making tawbah? There's nothing. So, انطلق إلى أرض كذا وكذا. What's standing in the way from him making tawbah is if he remains amongst his people, staying in that environment that he was in, and remaining in that type of environment, which is pulling him down. So he had to get out of the environment. And that's what he said, انطلق إلى أرض كذا وكذا. Go to this land. فإن بها أناس يعبدون الله. And in this land, there's the people that worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you go worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with them. Change your environment. Get out of this environment. And then his tawbah was accepted. And he entered into Jannah. But you see his whole entire life. What about the man, the Sahabi that the Prophet ﷺ spoke about? عَمِلَ قَثِيرًا يعني عَمِلَ قَلِيلًا وَأُجِرَ كَثِيرًا. What was this said about? About who? Man, he just became Muslim. And then as soon as he became Muslim, he entered into a battle and got killed in the path of Allah. Upon entering into Islam, يعني عَمِلَ قَلِيلًا وَأُجِرَ what? كَثِيرًا. So he spent his whole life. Huh?
You go straight to paradise?
Yeah, of course. That's why he said Ujira Kathir, and he got he did a very little action, but he got a huge reward. A huge reward. Look it up on your phone, the full hadith. But I mean, there you go. I mean, so it's all about what you die upon. It's not how you, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He controls the hearts. So just like when we say وَعْلَمُوا and Allah يَحُولُ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَقَلْبِهِ. So it's actually in the khutbah this week. It's just almost done. But so you're gonna hear it in the khutbah, inshallah. But and because it is, you look at this ayah, what was one of the du'as that the Prophet ﷺ used to always make? Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Thabbit qalbi ala dinik. So, oh flipper of the hearts, Allahumma, oh Allah, oh flipper, changer of the hearts, changer of the state of the hearts. Thabbit, make my heart firm on your deen. And this is a dua that the Prophet ﷺ constantly used to make. Hadith is interminable. So it's all about what you die upon. So here, in Jabir, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم what يبعث كل عبد على ما مات عليه.
So you say Allah is the flicker of the heart?
The changer.
His heart?
Flipper.
Yeah, the
changer, yeah. Because he can, see, whatever, if he sees whatever is in the heart, Allah's going to bring it out. It's going to come out. And that's the person, there's no way that he's going to sit there and hide kufr in his heart and hide this in his heart and then hide it all the way up until his death. Sooner or later, Allah's going to bring that out. He brings it out through fitna. We watch this all the time. Whenever there's any type of fitna, we see people in beards and thobes and they dress like us, they talk like us, but when that fitna hits, what happens? You start to see people flipping.
To the other side.
Yeah, they start flipping left and right. So it can be brought out through fitna. It can be brought out through dunya. Some people, they're poor. They have this evil in their heart, but they're poor. So they just, whatever, I'll go to the masjid, I'll pray, I don't got nothing else to do, I'm poor, right? He just wants money. Every day he's in the masjid, just, please give me money, give me money, give me money. He gets money. That becomes his fitna. Now all the stuff that was in his heart, it comes out. He flips. Now he's better off when he was poor. Allah gave him the money, Allah gave him what he asked for. And it became the source of his destruction. And then he flipped, and then what happens? Yeah, and then he dies on disobedience and dies on craziness, and then there you go. So, all of these things, it's a scary, scary, scary thing. I sat there and I watched students flip that were way stronger than I have ever been. So it's at least what appeared to us, like on the zahir, on the surface. Students
When you say flip, just go crazy?
Not like crazy,
Just doing sinful things?
Well, not always sinful. We've seen students, they just get
pride, arrogance, that type of thing.
Oh, it could be arrogance, not accepting the truth, not accepting advice, falling into bid'ah, falling into dunya, it's a lot of different things that mess people up. And money is the number one, لِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ فِتْنَةٍ وَفِتْنَةُ أُمَّتِي.
I thought dunya was hellfire.
Huh?
Hellfire. What is dunya?
Dunya is the life of this world.
Oh, the life of this world is dunya.
Yeah.
See.
Like all the embellishments of this world,
Okay.
the money, the women, the cars, and the status, and all this. They get caught up in this stuff, because they let the praise of the people affect them, and they start to really.
And fitna is chaos.
Fitna is a tribulation, trial, tribulation.
Oh, that's what fitna is.
Yeah. Chaos.
It's something that just
chaos
happen to us regardless.
Chaos is fawda. Yeah, Allah is going to put you through fitna, because whatever is in your heart, Allah is going to bring it to the surface. Yeah. And that's why you see, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. Kabura maqtan 'inda Allah an taqulu ma la taf'alun. And he said, oh, you who believe, why do you say things that which you don't do? Kabura maqtan 'inda Allah. What a despicable action. In the eyes of Allah. Allah views that as one of the most despicable acts, that you say things that you don't do. So it's not a joke. And the people that do that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what? Brings it out and tests them. Test the Sahaba. لقد كنتم تمنون الموت من قبل أن رأيتموه. What's it? Surah Al Imran. Oh, come on, man. Because now you're having problems with Surah Al. And I told you the other day, I said, I got to revise Surah Al Imran. لقد كنتم تمنون الموت من قبل أن رأيتموه. No. No, not that.
So that's part of the Quran where it says, why do you say to those that you don't preach for?
But that's the last part of the ayah. But here he said, when before you saw it, you used to hope for death, oh, we want to go into the path and you want to fight, we want to die in the path of Allah. Now you've seen it. وَأَنْتُمْ تَنْظُرُونَ. So everybody's going to be tested with their statements, you know. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned that in Surah Muhammad. What's the ayah? وَنَبْلُوَ أَخْبَارَكُمْ. And what does that mean?
We'll test you with that, what you say.
Yeah, I'm going to test you with your statements, with your speech. I'm going to do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this. If I have money, I'll do this. I'll give you money. Let's see, you going to do it or not? You know what I'm saying? Like you see like people, what do they say? You were locked up, right? And when I get out of prison, I'm going to go to the masjid. I'm going to be all righteous. I'm going to memorize the Quran. I'm going to study Arabic. I'm going to do this. Man, as soon as he gets out of prison,
Quran,
he left it in the prison.
In R&R.
And the first thing he's looking at is where the ladies are at and where he can get a bag of weed and a 40. You know, and that's it. It's khalas, it's done. So, but Allah tested him. He said, oh, when I get out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Make all these promises. Now you got out. What you going to do? You're going to do what you say. You're going to fulfill that. So, and that's what happens. And then people, what? And Allah flips their hearts. It's what's really in their hearts. See, he said that in front of the people. Oh, when I get out, I'm going to the masjid. In his heart, something different. It was something different. In his mind, he's like, no, I'm going to go to this girl's house and, hook up with this and do this. And he's got other things on his mind. He keeps that inside. And then as soon as he gets that freedom, and then he gets tested, it comes out. It comes out. And that's why, man, sometimes being poor is the biggest ni'mah. It's the biggest, because very, very few people, man, can have money and act right. Very few people. And don't ever assume that you're going to be that one person that can have money and act right. So sometimes being poor, I mean, a lot of the time, I wouldn't say sometimes, I would say like 95% of the time, being poor is a never. And some people, it's better that they just stay poor and die poor, because money will just destroy them.
Less stressful. Most definitely less stressful. Seems like when you got more money, you're more miserable.
No, it is less stressful. Man. It's stressful, but it's less stressful. Because people with money, they got problems coming from every single angle. Okay? But whereas like when you're poor, you're just like your problems are kind of like, like right in your face. You got to deal with this and this and this. But them, they get attacked from the back, from the side, from the left, from the right, from the top, from the bottom.
Especially if it's haram money. Especially if it's haram money.
Especially if they have people around them that aren't good people. So, I mean, that's the whole thing, man. So it's just, that's a scary thing, I think. It's a scary thing. That's why, make sure, it's better to act and talk little than talk a lot and act little. Or talk a lot and then get tested and act nothing, and then don't even, because all these people will lie. How many people
perform?
I mean, that's the same thing about this ayah, كَبُرَ مَقْتًا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. What was this ayah sent down about?
This ayah, what was it sent down
about? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it's such a despicable thing that you say that which you don't do. That was sent down about fighting, about going into battle. There's all the people in the times of peace, they're like, oh, when the time comes, I'm going to grab the sword, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But when that time comes and now you're face to face with an enemy that's trying to kill you.
You feel back on their heels.
Yeah, exactly. That's not a joke. It's not a joke. So you see, it's the hypocrites that, what?
Oh, that talk a lot, but do a little.
No, but that's when did they get exposed?
Oh, during times of war.
And that time. And that time. And they're like, oh, no, they start looking for any excuse to go home and try to get out of it. But the Sahaba, they stood firm. They fought. They did what they had to do. But then the hypocrites are just like, that's when Allah brings them out. What's in their chest, it comes out. And you see, like, for example, like, when the whole thing with 9/11 happened. We had all these hypocrites in our midst, right? But we didn't know. When 9/11 happened and the government started this war on terror, we started seeing those hypocrites come out the woodworks, and
I was on board.
Yeah, but I mean, the people that were here saw it. Everybody telling people, no, shave off your beard, oh no, change your name, oh no, stop acting like a Muslim. You sorry, this, all the hypocrites come out the woodworks because of the little small.
Don't wear the hijab.
And don't even know. Even some people don't even go to the masjid. They stopped going to the masjid. So these are things I heard. I mean, obviously I was in Yemen, so I don't know. We just life as usual.
still do it to this day.
Huh?
They still do it to this day. It's not like
Because they haven't recovered from that. See, the hypocrisy in their chest, it came out. And it is exposed to the people. Now they're comfortable with it. So now they don't have to go back into hiding anymore. Now they're running around in suits and ties and saying that we need to register to vote and say that we need to support like these homo rights and all this other garbage that's going on. And, you know, saying that
They don't have to hide that no more.
Huh?
They don't have to hide that no more.
And they're not hiding anything. They don't feel no shame anymore because now that whole issue, it brought them out. And once they came out, khalas, that's it.
They try to say Islam is outdated.
Well, that's kufr. Anybody that says and believes in his heart that the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are like outdated or they're only for a specific time, that's kufr. Mukhrij min al-millah. This person has left Islam. Anybody that says any statement like that. This is from now until the day of judgment. These are the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
You say the Quran is outdated?
No, they say like the laws of Islam like are archaic.
Like if someone says the laws of Islam are outdated, that person's a disbeliever. He's not a Muslim.
Like, you know, the stoning to death, they say, oh no, this was only for the time. This is, you know, some of these juhal, these ignorant fools, they say, oh, it's so barbaric.
Time now.
Yeah, we live in modern times. And yeah, you live in modern times right now where most of the parents of these people have committed zina. So it's like, you know, now you want to sit here and talk about barbaric now.
That's why I was sitting on the news. That's why I was sitting up and I seen a man eating on another person's leg.
Huh?
What?
Right here in Wasco, California.
He was eating someone's leg
At the stoplight.
at the stoplight.
At the stoplight. They had to tackle him
He's just eating a leg.
and take the leg.
Was it a chicken leg or a human?
Not even a month ago.
Where was this at?
In Wasco, on the corner.
In California.
In California.
It's near Bakersfield.
Right before you hit Bakersfield.
Oh, Bakersfield is famous.
It's
The
right
boy
next
was
to
right there on the corner.
Bakersfield is like the Florida of California. Every time I hear about something crazy, they say, oh, that must be in Bakersfield or something. Just like in the South, they say, oh, that's if something crazy happens, they say, oh, that's Florida. That's Florida. That's the Florida man. You know, you see a dude come into the store with a pet alligator, you know, and stuff like that, you know. So I guess Bakersfield is like the Florida of California.
Yeah, Bakersfield is like, because they got one of the worstest towns there for meth heads. That's Oregon.
Stockton. Yeah. Stockton's bad too.
Yeah.
Who?
Stockton.
No, it's not that way.
Oh, there's a lot of gangs in Stockton.
Bad in the Biden.
Yeah, Sacramento is the worst.
It used to be, but it is now,
The worst.
Yeah.
I hate America. It's okay.
Obviously, like right here, man, we just had the second shooting today, so we ain't doing that well either, right? Yeah. You saw the police block off the street when we were coming. You didn't see it? Right there on Tulare. Yeah, right there on Tulare, there's a shooting.
When I come in this way.
5 o'clock maybe, 5 o'clock today. Right there at the end of the street. You go down.
I told you I was coming from.
Right, this is Tulare, right?
Yeah.
Right there at the end of the street. They had the police have it all blocked off right now. Yeah.
It's not a good area.
Boy, here.
You know, but you know, we got our protection. We got the angels.
Huh? Yeah, go. You can see it right now. Go.
Oh, they still there?
Yeah, the police still got it. That whole area blocked off.
I told you when I took my grandson home.
Yeah, the Wayne's Liquor or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what I said. This is. That's what I said. This is the second shooting, but this one is right here. Now, they didn't get to the Wayne's Liquor this time, but they had the school. You know, Edison High. They had it on lockdown. Y'all didn't see that?
You know Al-Allama, Abdullah ibn Hamid.
Oh, let me cut this off.
You know the recent scholar who died, Abdullah ibn Hamid, from our time. I think one time he was giving Salih al-Fawzan, he was mentioned that he